You got a raise. Your paycheck went up. Your boss shook your hand. Your bank app even showed a bigger number. And yet, somehow, you feel poorer than before. Not a "I can't afford luxuries" poor, but that quiet, uncomfortable kind of broke. The kind where money leaks out faster than it comes in. The kind where you hesitate before ordering coffee. The kind where you wonder, late at night, how am I earning more and still stuck? That feeling isn't in your head, and it isn't a personal failure. It's a system problem. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start somewhere familiar. A few years ago, getting a raise meant something very specific. It meant relief. It meant progress. It meant you were moving forward. Today, a raise often just means staying in place. Sometimes not even that. And the reason has almost nothing to do with how hard you work. This topic matters right now because more people than ever are doing better on paper while feeling worse in real life. Wages are up, employment looks strong, headlines say the economy is recovering. Yet surveys show people are more stressed about money than they were years ago, more anxious, more trapped. That contradiction is the clue. So let's slow this down and tell the story properly. Imagine your life as a bucket. Your income pours in from the top. Your expenses leak out through holes at the bottom. For most of modern history, raises were bigger than the leaks. You could patch holes over time. You could build pressure. You could save. Now, the bucket itself is cracking, and every year, new holes appear that you didn't drill. Let's talk about the first crack: inflation. Not the scary abstract version economists argue about, the real one. Inflation is simply this: everything quietly costs more than it used to. Not all at once, not dramatically, just enough that you don't notice day to day. Until one morning, your grocery bill is 40% higher than it was a few years ago. Your raise might be 5%. Your expenses went up 10. That gap is where the broke feeling lives. And here's the uncomfortable part. Inflation doesn't hit evenly. You can avoid buying a new TV. You can delay a phone upgrade. But you can't opt out of rent. You can't negotiate with groceries. You can't skip electricity. The things that inflate the fastest are the things you must buy: housing, food, healthcare, transportation. Your raise competes with those first and usually loses. Now layers something else on top: taxes. When your income goes up, you don't keep all of it. Some of it disappears before you even see it, sometimes more than before. So you get a raise, but your take-home pay barely moves. Or worse, your benefits change. Subsidies disappear. Thresholds get crossed. You earn more and qualify for less. This is where the irony starts. You level up, and the system quietly sends you a bill. Now let's talk about the part no one likes to admit: lifestyle creep. This is where the story usually turns into a lecture, so let's not do that. Lifestyle creep isn't about buying dumb things. It's about normal life becoming more expensive. You move closer to work to save time. Rent goes up. You buy slightly better food because your schedule is tighter. Groceries go up. You pay for convenience because exhaustion has a price. Delivery, subscriptions, fees. None of these feel extravagant. They feel reasonable, and that's why they're dangerous. Your raise didn't make you reckless. It made your life fuller. And fuller lives cost more to maintain. Now zoom out. There's a bigger mechanism running in the background: debt. Debt used to be a bridge. You borrowed to get ahead: education, a home, a business. Today, debt is often a life support system. Credit cards smooth over price increases. Buy now, pay later turns inflation into installments. Loans fill the gap between income and reality. This works temporarily, but debt doesn't disappear. It waits. And when interest rates rise, it wakes up hungry. So now part of your raise goes to servicing the past, paying yesterday's bills with today's money, which means tomorrow gets nothing.
Here's where the system gets clever. Inflation makes money worth less over time, but debt payments stay fixed. So you're told inflation helps borrowers. That's technically true, emotionally false. Because wages don't rise cleanly with inflation. They lag, they stumble, they negotiate. Prices don't. Prices just move. Now, let's introduce the quiet villain no one talks about, expectation inflation. This one doesn't show up on charts. Your parents measured success differently. Stability was the goal. One income, one home, predictable costs. Today, the baseline shifted. You're expected to be flexible, mobile, always improving. Your career demands constant upgrades, skills, courses, equipment. Your social life lives online, where comparison is constant and subtle. You're not chasing luxury, you're chasing adequacy. And adequacy keeps moving. So when you get a raise, it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like catching up. Briefly. Then the ground moves again. Now do the math no one puts in the offer letter. Say you get a 10% raise. Sounds solid. But inflation is running at 7%. Rent goes up 12, groceries up 15, utilities up 10. Your real purchasing power went down. Not dramatically, just enough. Enough to feel uneasy, enough to feel tight, enough to feel broke. And because the change is gradual, you blame yourself. You assume you mismanaged something. You assume others are doing fine. They're not. They're just quieter about it. Now contrast this with the hype. Headlines celebrate record wages. Companies announce bonuses. Economic indicators flash green. But indicators don't pay rent. Averages hide pressure. If one person gets a massive raise and 10 get tiny ones, the average looks great. The lived experience does not. This is how optimism and reality drift apart. Now zoom out even further. What happens when millions of people feel financially unstable at the same time? They delay big decisions, homes, children, businesses. They save less because they can't. They invest less because they're afraid. They spend cautiously, but constantly. The economy keeps moving, but on anxiety. And anxiety is expensive. It shortens planning horizons. It rewards short-term thinking. It punishes patience. This is how systems slowly hollow out, not with collapse, with exhaustion. So where does that leave you? Not with a neat solution, not with a checklist, just with clarity. You're not crazy, you're not lazy, and you're not alone. A raise doesn't guarantee relief anymore. It just changes the math. The uncomfortable question isn't how to earn more. It's this. In a system where costs rise automatically, but income must be fought for, what does getting ahead even mean now? And if the rules quietly changed, who told us we were still playing the old game?
The information shared in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and the content presented should not be considered a substitute for professional guidance. Financial decisions involve risk, and individual circumstances vary. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any financial decisions. Past performance does not guarantee future results.